Hello there. Well, the other day at our house, we were talking about Saturday morning breakfasts. Now, when I was young, not in our first house, but in our second house and years on into the 60s, my dad, who'd been in the Royal Navy, he used to have this thing about, Saturday morning breakfast. I'll do Saturday morning breakfast. We're going to have a fry up. And it's like it was a big event because he was going to cook it. He didn't generally do the cooking, but he was going to cook this Saturday breakfast. So what we had was a frying pan. I mean, I never eat anything out of a frying pan now. I haven't done for decades. You get the frying pan out. He'd do some bacon. It was a big frying pan. He'd do some bacon. Then he'd do tomatoes. You get, a full tomato and he'd slice that up, etc. Then he'd get some mushrooms. What came next? Oh yes, the next thing has come back to me now. Black pudding. Do you remember that? I understand that there's a white pudding as well, but this was black pudding. So he'd slice that up, he'd put that in. And I think we had an egg as well, a fried egg. I don't know quite how he did it, but I do know that if he ever did baked beans in a saucepan, you get the meal, you get the breakfast. Oh, and fried bread as well. Fried bread. He was very good at fried bread. When you got the breakfast, the baked beans were always cold. And if you happen to mention that the baked beans were cold, and this came about primarily because he wasn't stirring the beans, you get quite annoyed about that. Really, you get really nicked off. Anyhow, after that, he'd have some toast that he'd do. God knows how we managed to eat this. I'm sure we must have wasted a lot of it anyway. You do a bit of toast, and on the toast, and my mother liked this as well, it was Rose's lime marmalade. Now, for years, they've not just done lime marmalade, they've done lemon and lime marmalade. The jar is still pretty much the same. I think it's probably the same size as well. There we go. And I bought this. The other day for, I think it was about £1.60, something like that, because I haven't had any of this for a long while, and I like it when it comes out of the fridge. Anyway, those are the things that I remember about these Saturday morning breakfasts. And you were supposed to eat it all up, not waste any of it at all. And he used to say, "Oh, that'll set you up for the day. That'll set you up for the day." And I could never quite eat it all up anyway. But he'd make a palaver about doing this. And then years later, he'd when he passed away, and I had to clear his house. I stayed in a hotel in Birmingham, and the guy who owned the place decided that before I went to clear his house, I needed to have a full English. And what he did as this full English breakfast, although it was nice, it sort of paled into insignificance compared to the one that my dad did. However, there were baked beans, and the baked beans were warm there anyway. So I wonder if you have any memories of Saturday morning breakfasts or fry-ups, etc. If you have, let me know in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing this about a stage of unhealthy eating. I couldn't imagine having something cooked in a frying pan now anyway. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.